Well, oftentimes when we talk about gay marriage, we talk about religious freedom. At least religious individuals talk about religious freedom and how we can't marry same-sex people because, hey, it's against our religious freedom. Well, interestingly enough, a group of clergymen are using that very argument to say they should be able to marry same-sex couples because of their religion. So let me tell you exactly who this is. It's clergymen representing the United Church of Christ. They challenged the North Carolina law that bans same-sex marriage. It's known as Amendment 1, which the people of North Carolina voted on and overwhelmingly were in favor of. So they passed it, and of course that bans same-sex marriage. Well, clergymen were like, no, we're religious, and we believe that our religious freedom entitles us to the ability to marry same-sex couples. One reverend by the name of Joe Hoffman says the following: as senior minister, I am often asked to perform marriage ceremonies for same-sex couples in my congregation. My denomination, the United Church of Christ, authorizes me to perform these ceremonies, but Amendment 1 denies my religious freedom by prohibiting me from exercising this right. I love that argument.
It's a great turnabout. That's, turnabout is fair play in this particular instance, where you have these clergymen saying this is stopping my free exercise of religion. Now, to say whether or not the government is required, I mean, it's not to say that the clergyman can't go out in the field and go ahead and marry these people anyway. It just means the government won't recognize it. So, right. I think they have a great point. I think it's a wonderful way to bring about the legal questions about this. It's another angle of getting at civil rights.
Yeah, look, gay marriage is coming, no pun intended. It is coming, and I think maybe, just even looking at this slightly cynically, this may be a numbers game for these guys. They may realize that there's a societal shift here, and they have to get on board and lead congregations that are going to accept this because they want to keep members. It used to be back in the day, you had to keep people, you couldn't have gay people married because you wanted people to reproduce as much as possible. Well, then that's just slowly stopped working, and now if you don't let gay people into your congregations, you're going to see the numbers fall because of that. So it may just be purely business in a way, and I'd be okay with that.
Gays can't reproduce. For a group of people who can't reproduce, they seem to be reproducing like wildfire.
Yeah. Well, I always say to my boyfriend, we can't have kids, but we're going to keep trying.
Oh, baby!
Normally I slap him 5 there, but
I like that they came from the United Church of Christ. Nobody ever comes from the fractured Church of Christ. Why is that?
No, that's true.
But I did not see this coming. I did not see the religious people using this. That's like a nice jujitsu.
I think it shows you that there are fundamentalists in the country, and then there are people who are religious that do believe in their
right
faith,
message.
And they believe in the right message, exactly. And that's the reason why I love this story so much, because oftentimes on this show, I feel like we're extremely critical and extremely harsh to religious people, but we always try to include the caveat that we're speaking about fundamentalists. We're not talking about the vast majority of religious people in the country. And I grew up religious. I grew up going to Sunday school every single Sunday. We never ever had a conversation in my church about hating a particular group of people because they didn't live the lifestyle that we agreed with. We talked about the poor. We talked about loving our neighbors. We talked about forgiving our enemies. Those are the kinds of messages that I agree with, right? And those are the kinds of messages that are good for society. And unfortunately, those good messages are getting buried under the hateful messages that you get from these ridiculous fundamentalists. So I love this. I love that there's a religious organization that's getting a little bit of positive publicity.
Yeah, love your enemy, right? You never heard love your enemy. I'm a big one on that, love your enemy. Have you ever, like the grudge fuck is also fun, right? You ever have that?